Hey guys, what's up? It's Marie with Swipe in the City. Welcome back. It is Sunday morning. We are feeling fantastic today, aren't we, Michelle?
We are. We have a very special guest. So a lot of you have been asking about my personal dating life. And my new boyfriend is here. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see him sitting right next to me while we record.
He's so handsome.
He's so cute. His name is Kenny, and he's an inflatable pool shark. So that's where I'm at mentally. Oh man. But yeah, no, it's Sunday morning. I'm in a much better state than last weekend when we recorded. Again, if you saw the video, it was just the slow decline of me basically melting into my couch. So we're doing a little better today. We're a little more positive. Murray, what's up?
We walked to Starbucks this morning. Did. That's what we're drinking. I'm drinking a venti iced Americano, black like my heart.
I'm drinking a venti iced mocha with an extra shot. So I'm a little festive today. You're a
little sweeter.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my new relationship. It's already having a positive effect on me.
I love that for you.
At least now my mom can stop asking if I'm dating, who I'm dating. But yeah, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. Basically, we're just going to kind of catch up and bullshit. We don't have a set topic, but we have a couple of, I think, funny stories from the last couple of weeks. And yeah, so if you're not into that, it's a good time to
to just turn it off.
Turn it off. You have the power. But Marie, what's up with you? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of for both of us here. Like we've both been mentally, going through a lot these past few weeks. I know like myself, I've been dealing with, I've been in my therapy regularly, but she hasn't taken, a trip to the post office during one of my sessions, which is really promising. But we do deep breathing every time we start the session. And I don't know if I'm into that. So I think I'm back on the market for a new therapist again. So we'll kind of see how that goes, but I'm hoping things are starting to look up. I'm half vaccinated, so I think that's kind of the bigger thing is I'm really looking forward to, having more experiences seeing my boyfriend drunk at a bar. As the meme says, there are many of us who started dating in the pandemic and haven't seen your significant other trashed out in public. So
we made it 3 minutes without quoting or mentioning Jared Freid.
I know, yeah. Everybody, if you're listening, start drinking every time we reference him. It's fine.
Yes. Didn't we have a new drinking game?
I think we've been coming up with some new topics. Yeah, and one I think specifically was last week's episode on Shit Guys Say, if y'all haven't listened to it yet. Every time Paul says shout out to, right?
Yeah.
He was just giving all the shout outs.
So many shout outs. One thing I was going to say, like, I feel like the biggest thing for you with getting vaccinated is just like the anxiety that you have around COVID and going places or seeing people, and just like, I'm so stoked for you to have a little bit of relief from that. And I think it's going to be awesome because you're just hopefully will just feel generally better. Obviously, like we're still gonna wear masks where they're required and all of that good stuff. But I actually got my first shot last week as well. So yeah. We're on our way. A few more weeks.
On our way to something more normal.
That second one, and hopefully I can stay healthy until then. That's
oh God.
Can you imagine?
On that promising note, what's new with you?
No, as you already know, obviously, I've also been dealing with the last few weeks. It was a couple weeks and it's gone on like a few weeks. I've been dealing with my own kind of depression and anxiety and figuring out how to handle that and manage that. We talked about it a little bit, but like I was doing sober Sundays for a couple of weeks because my Sunday scaries anxiety was just getting super, super bad. And that would roll into like Monday morning. And I did sober Sundays and my anxiety was worse. So I'm drinking a beer today to like put less, as Marie suggested, to put a little less pressure on myself to like whatever.
Well, I mean, I don't think it was so much about the drinking with you on Sundays. I think it was more so about not feeling like you were getting what you needed to done over the weekend or not recharging. And just because like you don't need to, I mean, I drink while I clean. Sorry,
Right.
Mom. So
Right. No,
it's like rewarding yourself for doing something too, which I think is really important.
Yeah, it's definitely more so like, okay, what are the, 2 or 3 things I need to do today to like start Monday morning on a good note, including watering my new, I think they're called crotons, but apparently croton or crouton, this type of plant. I'll Google it, but apparently they are notoriously hard to take care of.
Oh, good. That's perfect for you.
But here's the thing. That might motivate me to take care of it more. Like now I feel like it's a challenge. So I'm somehow going to keep it alive and all of my other new succulents will probably die.
Well, the succulents, I think, just need a better home. Like, I don't think your wall gets enough light for them.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, no. So on that note, I've been dealing with my own funk, and it's interesting because I'll find myself like how it relates to dating is I'll find myself like I'll start these conversations. I'll be like doing, swiping on Hinge at night. I stop swiping, but be trolling. I'll be trolling on Hinge at night and I'll match and I'll start a conversation. And then I find myself really disengaged. And I don't like, I think part of it, of course, is just the nature of like online dating and messaging. And when that like drags out as well. Right. So my family was just in town. So I had, I was chatting with some people, but then it was like 2 weeks have now gone by. So that initial interactions, meh.
Yeah. I feel like when you start matching with somebody, like it's really important to meet that person earlier on because otherwise that's exactly what happens. And then you analyze it too. Like then, you can get in your own head, like psych yourself once you do set a time. So I totally get that. I say start the roster clean.
Roster. No, it's totally that. I mean, we know that Thursdays are the best night for a date. So Mondays and Tuesdays, Sunday through Tuesday are the best nights to be swiping and matching. And then if you connect on a Monday or Tuesday, you can make plans for Thursday. And then if they're cool, you can see them over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
I will say,
my life advice.
We want to talk a little bit about Tuesday date night at Wanderlust. I think we should. It's been a long time since we gave Sammy a shout out. Yes. And I stopped by on Friday night because so my team and I were ordering my boss a celebratory dinner and he wanted Italian food. So I was favoring Juliet to him. And of course, ordering Italian food from one restaurant made me specifically crave Heel of the Boot. So I drove to Wanderlust and I had a drink, caught up with Sammy for a second. And of course, spent a ton of money at Heel of the Boot, but it's so worth it every single time.
It's so fucking good.
Like, with that being said, Sammy has a new, what is he calling it?
Tuesdates.
I love that.
His branding is impeccable. Like the way he brands his events is amazing. We love you, Sammy. We miss you.
He's fantastic. I'm so excited to get back to doing events with him and everything too. Yeah, the Tuesday date night. What is it? You get a bubbles on the house, or what exactly is it? Because there's some incentive there.
Yeah, I think it's your first glass of bubbles is free if you're like on a first date, which is so cool and also just like hilarious, right? Like what a great first date story. You go to this winery where you get to try a bunch of stuff and you get like a special treat for being on the date. Like I think that's great. I think Thursdays are still my favorite night for dates, but I think Tuesdays are coming in real close now.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. And of course, Wanderlust, we've also got the whole setting there. Beautiful outdoor space. I will say he takes reservations now. So you do want to make sure to get reservations if you want to have a Tuesday.
That's awesome. Yeah. I feel like, we were going to talk about, it's a horrible transition, but here we are. Here we are. I think that's what this episode is called. Here we are. And it's just,
100%.
maybe this is just a series, like shit guys say.
Shit, we're basically, we bullshit about how we're mentally not okay.
Maybe I'll just send this episode to my former therapist.
There you go.
No, I did have kind of a funny story. So I am actively, I guess I'm actively dating. I don't know. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. And then I lose interest because I have 18 other things and 18 other priorities going on. But oh God damn it. So there were these two guys that I started talking to on the apps again, like 2 weeks. Oh, no, we talked about this. Smoothie King guy.
The Smoothie King.
So the Smoothie King guy, for y'all who didn't hear that episode, basically what had happened was I was talking to this guy. We started texting. We were making plans. And he suggested Smoothie King for a first date. And Smoothie King, I think, is like a less cool Jamba Juice.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't think he was 15, so I was very confused.
I hope he wasn't 15.
Like he had said he wasn't drinking, and so that's totally fair. But I feel like there are so many options that we could go through of sober activities before we get to Smoothie King.
Seriously,
so many things. But I would not recommend driving to the 360 bridge because it's very, what do you call it? Where it's like disappointing.
I don't think it's disappointing, but you didn't hike up it.
No, we just drove across it.
Yeah, that's anticlimactic, but you're supposed to hike to the top.
Next time. So Smoothie King was trying to make plans. Oh no. So I had suggested Buzzmill and then he just literally never texted me back. And it was like that day we were supposed to hang out. And so a little bit later, I just texted him or not, LOL, because zero fucks. And he replied like the next day and was like, oh, I'm sorry. Somehow I never saw this message. Sure. Sure.
Okay.
He's like, can you hang out today? And I was like, no, I'm actually like really busy this weekend. And so we didn't talk for like a few days. And then he hit me up. Was it this week? Yeah, he hit me up this week. And I was like, oh, whatever. Like, sure, we can hang out on, I think we were supposed to hang out on Thursday. Yeah, so we were supposed to hang out on Thursday because my family left Wednesday. And I was like, hey, let's connect on Wednesday to like make the plans and just for me to make sure I'm like, I have the energy to meet. And so I texted him on Wednesday and he just didn't respond. I'm like, you fucking hit me up.
That is such a common thing too. And it's just like, why are you here?
Here's my thing. I'm not a big texter. I don't want to text all day long. I'm pretty non-responsive when it comes to, or like delayed responses when it comes to just chatting. But if we have a plan or a day and time or something, I get really, really nitpicky about communication around plans.
Yeah.
Because I'm typically like choosing to spend, it's like respect of time. I'm like choosing to spend time with you over by myself, with my dog, with my friends, calling my family. Mm-hmm. Like I'm actively making that. So it drives me fucking crazy. So like the mature businesswoman I am, I will read y'all the text that I sent him, which I feel like was very
professional.
Yeah. Hold on. As I now see a bunch of other texts I did not respond to. So I said, hey, name, seems like we've had a couple of communication breakdowns here when making plans. Rather than ghosting, I'm just going to say we call it at this point and go our separate ways. Best of luck.
Oh my God, that reminds. I had a guy that I dated for a while. And when he I had to confront him because he was going to try to ghost. And his message to me, his last message was, best of luck on your future endeavors. And I was like, kindly go fuck yourself.
That's kind of amazing.
I know. I
feel
kind of
like
respect it, but also I was like, fuck you.
Well, so along those same lines, I don't know what it is this week, but here's the thing. Like, if you're going to make an effort to reach back out to me after we've like kind of disconnected or stopped talking, then why do you then not respond when I respond to you? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Why are you wasting our time? So I had another situation where there's a guy, like we'd been talking on the app and kind of, again, like texting and just meh, whatever. And so he reached back out. And then we were chatting about making plans for Saturday. And he was like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, do you have Instagram? And I was like, yeah, I do. It's mcraigpdx. I don't know. I wouldn't say my handle. And I was like, you, and he just never responded. So like he followed me on Instagram, but he never responded to the text about it. And I'm like, here's also the thing. I don't think that my dating profile, like photos, are that different from what I post on Instagram. Like I feel like my shit is pretty realistic. Like I don't think it's a big shocker unless he just doesn't like reels about available adoptable dogs.
I think that's probably it. Maybe he's a cat person.
Yeah. You're the only cat person I accept in my life.
But that's because I'm an animal person.
Right. That is true.
All animals.
But so I was just like, okay, that's annoying. And I was like, and I don't, especially a Saturday night, like I pretty much don't go on dates on Saturday nights if it's like a first date, because that's like Saturdays are for the girls.
Yeah.
So I was annoyed and I didn't want to like think I had a plan and not have a plan and just have that limbo. So then I sent another breakup text. Hey, I appreciate you reaching back out, but I'm not seeing a connect here and don't want either of us planning our weekend around something. I wish you the best. Also, neither of these guys replied to those texts.
I mean, would you?
I think I would probably reply with like an emoji.
I might send like a thumbs up if they don't have an iPhone. I feel like I like double tap and give it a like if they had an iPhone.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I can do? I can send like it shows as like a text message when you like one of my messages.
Oh yeah.
I'll just do that next time. I'll just put liked and then copy and paste their message in.
Perfect. We had people in our group chat for work that would do that because we'd always have a couple Android users, and the Android users would do that. They'd be like, hated, and then whatever you said.
That's funny. I've done that to you a couple of times. But yeah, so that's kind of where my life's at. I don't know. It's been interesting. I did meet someone that was kind of cool in real life the other day. So we'll see how that pans out.
How do we meet people in real life? What is that?
What is that like?
I'm so confused.
I know. But you know me, like as the like proper quarantine started, I was like walking down the street meeting people. I was like greeting construction workers. I was like, hi, I need human interaction.
Well, walking to Starbucks this morning, you were doing the same thing. It reminds me of when you're in or the opening scene in Beauty and the Beast when they're like, bonjour, good day, and they're like walking down the street singing and like greeting each other. No, you've never seen Beauty and the Beast?
Probably 15 years ago.
Oh my god.
I know. I'm the worst.
I can't with you.
I'm the worst. I feel like we had something else we were going to unpack today. You were thinking about like, and I don't think it needs to be its own episode, but you were thinking about like third wheeling a little bit.
Yeah. I don't remember what I was thinking about it anymore because I think the other theme to this particular episode is just our broken brains. If you have thoughts on third wheeling, DM me. Because apparently I did once and I don't anymore. I do think I think third wheeling is funny. So actually I was thinking about it before that, but So yesterday was Luna's birthday, and I went to the park, to Zilker Park with one of our friends, who's one of our twin friends, and so it was just her and I because her twin is out of town, and so it was her, me, and Luna, and I was texting Luke to potentially come with, and he was like, "Well, won't I be fourth wheeling?" Like thinking that it was like me and the twins on like a little, and I was like, "Aw." I love that.
Well, I think it just depends. Like especially because, well, you and I both have like a lot of guy friends. I feel like we get along well with guys. And so
Yeah.
it's like, it just depends on the couple. If both people are chill, like I don't mind third wheeling. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
But it's when people are really like really coupley and really like a ton of PDA and shit where I'm like, I don't really need to sit across this table eating my boneless chicken tenders while you're making out. Let me eat my tendies in peace.
Oh, don't call it
that. But I think but sometimes though, when it's like multiple couples and they're very like you said, clicky or very just like connected. Yeah. And then I'm just there. I'm like, okay, this isn't super fun. But I usually just take Lindsay as my +1 to things.
Yeah.
So she's my other life partner. But yeah, no, I was thinking about that because I have like 2 of my best friends back home. They're both in long-term relationships, and they, at least when I was still in Portland, like they'd invited me to do like weekends away and stuff. And they were planning on just like hanging out at the house, watching like, I don't know, playing games, watching sports. But for me, it's like, I love meeting new people. Like I'm a psychopath like that. And so the idea of just like sitting in a house with a couple of couples, I was like, that doesn't
I think even if it weren't a couple of couples, that doesn't sound like your ideal weekend. Like I would love that. Couples not like, we used to do that with like our family friends. We would rent a house every like winter, and we'd go out to this little like ski place. And so it was like 4 or 5 families. To be fair, it was also like 4 or 5. Like there was a lot of people in the house. Yeah. Like there was plenty to do. But like just chilling, like we'd go skiing one of the days and then we'd go into town the other day. But like we were there to like spend time with each other. And we also like didn't get to see each other very often either. So it was kind of one of those things. But those are some of my fond memories.
Well, that's like, I feel like when I go to my dad's, it's like the only time I'm chill. Because my dad's like, he lives kind of out in the country in Newburgh. And so we hang out and we catch up and stuff. But it's funny because it's just like, it's the only time that I feel like I slow down and I'm like, well, we're here now because there's nowhere to go. Yeah. Like I can like walk down the road to the winery, but like, you know, it's also different because it's like with my mom and my stepdad, we're always doing stuff, but like I see them even when I was in Portland, like I saw them pretty frequently compared to how often I see like my dad and that side of my family. And so, it's a little bit different. And they're just, my mom or my stepmom and dad are very, very chill. Like they don't, they just chill. I don't understand it. Meanwhile, Blue and I get cooped up for 2 days and I'm like, I need to go somewhere. I need to get out of this house. But yeah, like a lot of times when I was in, I would say like high school, I'd go over there for the weekend or for even just for a day. And I would just like nap on their couch.
I mean, to be fair, you probably need that every so often. So it was probably really healthy for you.
Right. Exactly.
And then there's me.
Yeah. We're so opposite in some ways and so similar in others.
I know. Well, I still like my social time, but I also need time to recuperate.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of painting lately.
You have been doing a lot of painting.
It's been very fulfilling.
Yes. As my mom would say, it's like therapy.
I mean, my therapist did suggest me to paint my troubles away.
Oh.
So I guess it's part of my therapy now. It's paint therapy.
Like,
She gave me like these PTSD prompts and said to like paint something along those lines. Which is really hard because I'm not actually good at painting people.
Oh.
Like I mostly paint like landscape type things, and then like the tracing thing that I did for you for your mom. Like that's like tracing. Like I didn't freehand that.
Yeah.
I freehanded some of it, but like so it's like it's not like I could have like painted, you know, me being sad during the storm or whatever. Like I painted like channel, like I just took like colors and stuff, and that was kind of the way I did it. But yeah, it's still nice.
Work in progress.
Yeah,
y'all.
As are we.
As are we. This is going downhill very quickly.
You're not even drinking.
Oh, I'm drinking. I have a beer. I have a Keyboard Gangsta.
Oh, that one's good.
I didn't think you liked it.
No, I liked that one, didn't I?
No, I don't think you did. I think I dropped it off for you last time I grabbed it, but I don't know. I have one if you'd like to try it again.
Oh, no, you're right. That one was a little bitter, wasn't it?
It's a little bitter for a hazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bitter for a hazy.
Yeah, I feel like it was just not what I was expecting.
Yeah, because it's a West Coast hazy. I love the graphic. Like it's just like straight up out of like a South Park episode.
Yeah, the branding is fantastic.
Oh, that reminds me. I actually watched this Netflix show. It was called.
Watched a show.
I don't remember what it was called. We'll post it. But basically, it's like a fake show. Like it's not a reality show, but it's. I guess that's just a show. I don't know. My brain is fucking broken. Okay. My brain is fucking broken. But basically, it was saying like if you submit your DNA into their database, they'll match you based off of your DNA. The whole concept is that like you have like one match in the world.
Oh, I got like recommended. I saw the preview for that.
Yeah, so they'll like match you based off of that to your one. I don't know. It was interesting enough. I finished the season, but I don't know if that means anything.
I feel like that's a lot of pressure for one person.
Like, thinking that there's
the
one
idea that you can have multiple people that you fall in love with.
Oh yeah, I don't like. For me, the soulmate concept is not really what I like prescribe to. I think that especially because you can have people who fulfill you in different ways, and you can have different relationships that have like the same meaning but are completely different. Like I don't necessarily think there's like one person. I also think that puts a lot of pressure on people, especially
that's what I mean.
Especially people like our age who are single, because it's like, oh well, you know, I haven't found the one yet. And it's like, oh, it's probably a few. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and it's like what is it? I think there's an F. Scott Fitzgerald quote that's like something along the lines of, you know, you can fall in love many times, but it's never the same love twice.
Ooh, I like that.
It's something along those lines. I mean, I love him, but even though he also kind of sucks, but that's a sidebar. So, I mean, I feel like when it comes to soulmates, like there's not one. Like, I think you can have many like quote soulmates. And I think your friends can be your soulmates, like straight up cheesy Sex in the City quotes. Like, because I think it's important to not have, like, to not depend on one person to be your like everything. Not just because like, that person can leave at any given time, but like also because everybody, like people are so different. And like the benefit that I get out of like you and I, like our relationship is not the same benefit that I get out of like even my relationship with like other friends.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Rant over.
Thank
you for coming to my TED Talk.
Having a podcast is kind of funny because it is basically us just being like, hey, listen to our bullshit for 30 to an hour and 30 minutes. There was something else that was on my mind this week. Oh, so something that I thought was interesting. So Paul sent us that message. No, not Paul. Mitch sent us a message about, is it better to be like instantly responsive on dating apps, or is it better to wait? He like sent it in. We got an email. He didn't email us. We've only gotten one fucking email ever. I probably shouldn't say that. We're super famous. It's fine.
I mean, nobody emails in our generation.
Like to their friends. I was right. Like, I email all day.
I mean, I email for work, but that's what I associate email.
But I think it's an interesting question, right? Like, for me, I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. Like, I'll say, I do notice if I'm being active and we're like messaging and having a conversation back and forth, like I notice that. But if someone responds like a day later, like I think it's kind of like younger, how when you're younger, you play these like stupid games.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of those like game things where it's like, it really shouldn't matter. Like if you want to talk to the person, just message them whenever you see it. Cause otherwise you'll, as that one guy said, I didn't see your message. Sure, bro.
Okay, Smoothie King.
Now I kind of want to go to Smoothie King just to fully understand why someone would request that.
I don't think so.
No, I don't really. I'm not a big smoothie person.
I am, but not from there because that's more like ice cream. But I digress. Yeah, I think, my response to Mitch was basically just like, I mean, if you want to talk to the person, just tell them. And if you really don't check the app very much, which a lot of us really don't, then like tell them that. Say like, hey, sorry, I'm not on here. Here's my number. If you want to chat, text me. I mean, that's literally so... Like when I first matched with Luke, I realized that it had taken him a couple days to get back to me. And then I was also like at the time at my mom's house. So I was like, look, like I'm out of town right now. I'm not going to be on Hinge all the time. I do want to talk to you. Here's my number. Yeah. And like, he was very receptive of that because then I feel like that does also kind of weed people out who don't want to talk to you. Like, if they're not comfortable or if they're going to be like, oh, well, here's my Snapchat or here's my Insta. Well, then, they're like, as we say in Bachelor Nation, here for the wrong reasons. Like they're there for like the followers or like just getting like a conversation or attention when they want it. They're not actually there to like meet people and like form relationships, whatever that relationship might look like.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it. Like, Snapchat and Instagram are passive ways of forms of communication comparatively. And so, yeah, if I'm interested in someone, I'm like, hey, just text me and let's make a plan in the next couple of days. Otherwise, to be honest, you're going to fall off. You're going to fall off my radar before you end up on my roster.
Well, I mean,
scene.
You can't sustain a conversation, like, especially if you're trying to get to know somebody. You can't sustain a conversation like over multiple days when like you're only texting once or twice a day. Like you can't.
Well, and especially if you haven't had like an in-person interaction yet. Like for me, the stakes are just so low. And I'm just like, I definitely don't want you to text me good morning every morning. My mom does it and that's fine. So she's the only person that daily morning text from. But she's in Hawaii, so she texts me at like 2:00. Good morning, which is awesome. She's like, "Oh wow, you're already halfway through your day when I wake up." I'm like, "Yeah, that's how time works." Before we wrap, I think we've been a little down lately. So, what's something you're looking forward to this week or in the next couple of weeks?
Getting my second vaccine. Other than that, I mean, I don't really have, as we know, not much on my, social calendar. But at least work, I will say, is like started to kind of level out. So I'm I don't want to say I'm looking forward to work, but I am kind of looking forward to work a little bit. I've been spending some time like training some of our new hires, which I do enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like training's a really good role for you.
Yeah, I like it. What are you looking forward to?
Oh,
Not
man.
your date with Smoothie King.
I love how I ask questions and then I'm like, I don't really want to answer that. To be honest, it's just like, it feels like summer has kicked off here and I feel like a weight has kind of been lifted for that reason. Like, I just feel like it's nice. And I'm working on talking to my boss about having like a summer Friday schedule. So, so Nike used to do it like at the corporate level where the workday ended at noon on Fridays, as long as your shit was done. And I love that idea. My boss thought I meant that I was going to like take PTO on Fridays. But I'm like, we'll talk about it on Monday. Because what I'm thinking is, especially because a lot of my team's on the West Coast. And so one thing I thought about was like on Wednesdays being like online and available working until like 7 to kind of counteract the fact that on Fridays I would be like offline earlier.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Still
like
getting like the 40-hour week.
Exactly. Yeah. So figuring out how to disperse those hours. But I just like, to be honest, my focus is usually pretty drained by Friday. And so working until 5 just to work until 5, like I'd rather have other options and know like, oh shit, I need to get all my shit done by Friday morning so that I can like go to the pool or go to the lake or take a nap. I don't know. I just want to take my depression naps in peace, okay? I want to take my depression naps.
I don't want to use Slack notifications in the middle of my nap.
I want to take my depression naps without the anxiety that comes from taking a nap in the middle of the day. No, it was super funny. So the new president of our company, he's been there for a couple of years. He's just super rad, amazing dude. And we're homies. So he does office hours on Friday where he just jumps on Zoom and anyone can jump in, which I think is really cool.
That's cool.
Just having that accessibility. And he's been very open, like company wide about just some of his like mental health issues and stuff he struggles with. And so it was funny because we were talking about like naps and he's like, oh, it's my goal to nap 3 days a week. And I was like, all right, we're very different. I was like, if I'm taking a nap, it's not a good thing. I'm not like healthy
to meet.
No, he said he created a quota, and I was like, okay, you're a little strange, friend. But I was like, if I'm napping, it's not. Because I'm well. It's not because I'm mentally healthy.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, my mom used to work. Actually, she's had a couple companies that she's worked for, and on the corporate level, they took either half days or full days on Fridays in the summer, and it was like usually every other week or something like that. So, and I mean, she really loved it. I feel like that's something. Not to go on a rant about how Americans are workaholics, but like we are.
Yeah.
I mean. Europeans don't really do a 40-hour work week.
Right.
They don't get as much done, I guess. But like, like my mom she also used to work for a French company and it would drive her fucking bonkers because they also take the entire month of August off. But like, you know what? Their quality of life is a lot better. They're a lot happier. They have better relationships. Like they spend time with their people. I don't know. I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking too. I feel like just knowing like Friday afternoons, I can cut out at 12 or 1, like actually like it's on my calendar that, hey, like I'm just out Friday afternoons. I just feel like that's something that I could look forward to every week and just be like excited about. And then it's like, oh, if I want to go rent a kayak, it's a lot fucking easier to do that at noon on a Friday than noon on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so we'll see. TBD. By our next episode, I might have a resolution on that. My brain is so broken.
Fingers crossed for you.
Oh, we haven't been mentioning our sponsor, our other sponsor. Wanderlust is one. And then Death by Mimosa. It's Death X Mimosa. So they are basically a brand for hangovers or for like Sunday Fun Day, which I love. We have a code. It is swipe right, and you can save 10% on your order. So check them out. We'll be sure to plug them on the socials. And other than that, where can people find us?
Swipe and the City on all platforms. You can email us, swipeinthecity@gmail.com if you really would like to.
I would love it if someone emailed us, even if it was just to say, y'all are doing amazing.
Yeah, that's true. It would be kind of nice. It'd be nice to, for the sake of organization too, because we get a lot of DMs. But always, as always, slide into our DMs. Swipe in the City. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Am I missing anything?
Nope. That's it.
Where can people find you, Michelle?
M Craig PDX on Instagram, Twitter. You can search my name for if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn.
Weirdo.
I love it. I'm actually using this to source leads. Yeah, right.
I do not connect with people I don't know on LinkedIn as a general rule. So don't try to slide into my LinkedIn unless you know me. And even then I might not connect with you because I'm very picky about my LinkedIn. That being said, anybody can follow me at Marie R. Carlson on all platforms. And Marie Rose Carlson on Venmo if you want to send us money.
Yeah, if you want to buy us a beer, you can Venmo us. It's cool. We're into that.
Today. It's fun.
All right, I think that is a fucking wrap. Thanks for attending the shit show.